Childhood and Growing Up. This is for B.Ed first year, exclusively for Pondicherry University, explained by Dr. Shubha, Vasavi College of Education, Pondicherry. So now we are in Unit 7, representing the realities. Under this, you will be reading Notion of Stereotype, Gender, Class, Poverty, Childhood and Adolescence in Media and Social Media, Realities of Present Age Children, Different Socio-Economic Status of Society, Child Labor in Household, in Unorganized Factors, Bondage Labor in Remote Villages, that is bonded labor, Child Abuse and Child Trafficking, Child Law, Imitation of Significant Events. Now, what's a stereotype? We have read in other units also. It's a fixed, generalized belief about a particular group or a class of people. That's what Caldwell says. In social psychology, a stereotype is any thought widely adopted about specific types of individuals or certain ways of behaving intended to represent the entire group of those individuals or behaviors as a whole. Stereotype is a mistaken idea or belief many people have about a thing or group that is based upon how they look on the outside, which may not be true or only partly true. Stereotyping people is a type of prejudice because what is on the outside is a small part of who a person is. Hope you can understand this. Stereotyping. Boys, girls, male, female. Male, they are strong. Females, they are not strong. They are weak. So this is a stereotype. Higher caste, lower caste. Higher caste people, they don't lie. They are honest. They will definitely be literate people. But low caste people, they are illiterate. They cannot go to school. They cannot study. This is also a stereotype. So, about an individual or about an entire group, you form a preconceived idea or a belief or a notion. And you look at them basing on your idea. So this is stereotyping. Based on the importance of this question, again gender stereotype, it can mean the roles and responsibilities that have been constructed by the society or by the given culture or by a given location to men and women. These roles have political, cultural, environmental, economic, social and religious factors influencing them. Custom, law, class, ethnicity and individual or institutional bias also influence gender stereotype. Like politicians, great politicians should be men. This was the case earlier, but now we have seen many successful women politicians, like Jayalalitha was there, Mamata Banerjee. So we are seeing and we have seen successful leaders. Things are changing, but even then gender stereotype is still there. Within the above framework, gender attitudes and behaviors can be learned and can also be changed. So what are these stereotypical perceptions? Women are supposed to be dependent, weak, incompetent, emotional, fearful, flexible, passive, modest, soft-spoken, gentle and caretakers. Men are powerful, competent, important, logical, decision makers, aggressive, focused, strong and assertive, particularly in the context of India. In India, the son preference is an age-old gender bias. Even now it's there, in which the male of the family bears the responsibility of carrying forward the family's name, the heritage. He is supposed to be supporting his parents in old age and also perform their last rites when they die. The fact that daughters are generally regarded as somebody else's wealth and the giving away as dowry to the groom ensure that daughters are often seen as an economic liability. Gender identity in middle childhood and adolescence. During middle childhood, boys' gender identities follow different paths. Self-ratings on personality traits reveal that from 3rd to 6th grade, boys strengthen their identification with the masculine role. That's, I am a boy and I will be playing only police, like that. So I'll be a collector, I'll be an engineer, like. While girls' identification with feminine characters. So girls will be playing like I'm the mother, I will cook, I will do sweeping, like that. The feminine characteristics. These changes are due to a mixture of cognitive and social forces. Of course, a girl looks at her mother. Mother is always sweeping and swabbing the floor and cooking. So naturally the girl feels, yes, even I need to follow her footsteps. School-age children of both sexes are aware that society attaches greater prestige to masculine characteristics. Now let's come to class stereotype. This is indecisive, describing lower socio-economic status. Now this describes both a negatively less competent, less human and more objectified, and also sometimes positively also perhaps sometimes better than upper socio-economic status people. The class and status: high class, they are posh, very educated, have a lot of money, come from private schools, only expect the highest of people's ability. Now middle class, have well paid jobs, salaried persons, live in basic homes, volunteer in the community. Lower class, school dropouts, dependent on the government's money, live in rented, run-down houses. So this is the stereotypes of class and state. So this picture speaks volume. The lower class stereotypes are selfish, they are rude, they are criminals, alcoholics, rough, high crime areas. They do what they want, they don't care for others. Blue collar workers, not white collar. They work in factories. They are not civilized and uneducated. So these are the stereotypes which we attach with the lower economic people belong to lower economics. Living in poverty is not directly linked to views on education. The stereotypes hold views that can be found in any level of economic strata. An attitude towards education is not determined by the economic status, nor does it change as people move up or down in the socio-economic sector. That is, poor parents do not want to be bothered with their child's education and learning. Poor children have limited vocabulary because of their parents. Poor students are more likely to abuse substances just like their parents. So these are the stereotype which we have in our mind. But the poverty and children belong to different and lowest socio-economic sector does not hold anything that they don't have an attitude towards education. These days children are very, very shrewd. See, look at this picture. You make me happy for 2 minutes, that is, you give me money or you give me a biryani, something like that. Then tell all your Facebook friends for years that you have donated a biryani to me. That's what a child looks at that person. See, so socio-economic status. Now these days you cannot say that they don't have an attitude or they don't have a power to come into a superior status.